Well, I guess this is it. Yeah. One way or another, this case gets decided today. Ah, Phoenix, look. Prosecutor Edgeworth. I received a call from the Chief Prosecutor's office yesterday. I was told that whatever Mr. White says today, it will be the absolute truth. No matter how you try to attack his testimony, if I raise an objection, I have it on good faith that the judge will listen to me. What, does White have the judge in his pocket too? So you're saying I'm going to be guilty, end of story? I will do anything to get my verdict, Mr. Wright. Anything. What? Why? How can you torment an innocent person like this? Innocent? How can we know that? The guilty will always lie to avoid being found out. There's no way to tell who's guilty and who's innocent. All that I can hope to do is get every defendant declared guilty. So I make that my policy. Edgeworth. You've changed. Phoenix, you know him? Don't expect any special treatment, Phoenix Wright. Phoenix? Well, we'll be starting soon. What? But wait, your defense attorney isn't even here yet. They're not. I'll be defending myself. What? Okay, let's do this. Let me get a drink of water first. I gotta stay hydrated. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Phoenix Wright. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, are you sure you're up to doing this? Yes, Your Honor. I would be defending myself. Understood. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening statement, please. As the details of the event are already quite clear to the court, today we will hear the testimony of a witness to the defendant's crime. I see. The prosecution may call its witness. That went far too smoothly. Why didn't the judge ask Edgeworth why his witness didn't testify before? It's like he already knows why. If anyone's going to raise an objection about this, I suppose it's me. Mr. Edgeworth, you owe an explanation to the court. Why didn't this witness testify in the trial against Miss Mayafay? I'm ever so sorry. Mr. White is a busy man, and besides, at the time I thought that Miss May's opinion was all that would be needed. Again, my sincerest apologies to the court. Excellent, Mr. Edgeworth. I appreciate your demeanor. Great. Gets to show off and I get nowhere. I'd like to call Mr. Red White to the stand. This was that guy's wearing like golden knuckles. What the hell? Please state your full name. You wish to know the title of my personage? Your name? Yes, that is what I said. Oh dear, do my locutions confuse? Name! These two are great together. My name is Red White, but my friends call me Blanco Nino. What? I am the CEO, or to use a more common term, the president of Blue Corp. Did you know the victim, Miss Mia Fey? That would be a negatory. No, I did not. You were at the Gatewater Hotel the night of the murder? Correct. And you witnessed the murder from there? Ahem. Why tell you what you already know? Very well, Mr. White. You may begin your testimony. I can't rip this guy's testimony apart. I'm done for. I don't always feel like it's the end of the world and I'm the last man standing. I hope you made your peace with God, Mr. Lawyer. Let him have it, Phoenix. Let's see, it was about 9 o'clock, I believe. I was quietly reading to you some papers by the window. Then I heard a bedlam coming from outside. Surprised, I turned to look at the building across the way. It was then I saw him, a spiky-haired man attacking a woman with long hair. Needless to say, that man was none other than you, Mr. Lawyer. I called Miss May over at once. She, too, was flabbergasted, of course. The victim, she ran away, but you gave chase. Okay, we already know that's, like, We can already poke a hole into it right away. Finally, there was a terrible impaction, then it was all over. Things occurred as you testified, then I'm afraid the defendant is guilty. Very well, defendant. Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Oh, hang on. 9 o'clock? Yeah, okay, that's already a lie. Where's the, Where's the time? No! How do you know what time it was? Because I'm always absolutely perfect. Abso-positively perfect, you know. No, you're not getting away with that. You are so mistrusting, Mr. Lawyer. So, what was the proper term for secretary again? Anyway, Miss May ordered room service for 9 o'clock. It happened soon after the room service arrived. That's what Miss May said, too. True, the bellboy who brought the coffee saw Miss May. But he testified that he did not see you at that time. This is your concern? Silly lawyer, Miss May received the coffee outside the room. Of course he could not see me. How would he need x-ray vision to pull off something like that? Tell us, what were you doing at the time? Reading. View some papers by the window. Okay. Bell alarm coming from outside. Surprised, I turned to look at the building across the way. It was then I saw a speculated man attacking a woman with long hair. Spiky-haired. Needless to say, that man was none other than you, Mr. Lawyer. Called Miss May over at once. She too was surprised, of course. Trying to poke holes in this thing. What was Miss May doing at that time? She just finished watching a soap opera on the TV and was weeping openly. Did you know she'd been taping the Fay office phone? Sorry, tapping. Irrelevant. That has nothing to do with the case at hand. I care not. I will answer the lawyer's bold inquiry. Miss May was acting alone when she tapped the phone of this Fay woman. You made a good politician, Mr. White. I know, after all, I am El Presidente. Please continue. The victim, she ran away, but you gave chase. Can you be a little more detailed about that? I think it's worth knowing exactly what happened. Of course, comprehende, I understand. Our victim was attacked by you and I ran to the left. You gave chase and struck her down. Are you sure? As you know, I am always abso-positively perfect. Perhaps you could change your testimony to reflect this new detail. The victim ran to the left, and you gave chase. Do we have any evidence for that? The victim dodged an attack that ran to the right. That's not true. Wait, right there. Mr. White. You've dug your own grave. What is this? You said the victim ran to the left. That directly contradicts Miss May's testimony. She clearly stated that the victim ran right. It is simple, you've misheard her. I think not. Look at the floor plans. The killer was here, and the victim here. If the victim ran to the left, as you claim she did, she would have been running directly away from the door. She would have been running into a dead end. That wouldn't make much sense. Don't you find that odd? Very strange. I did see her run to the left. I did. Phoenix, look at his face. I don't think he's lying about this one. True. Maybe he really did see the victim run left. So he did witness the killing. Wait a second. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? Miss May says right and Mr. White says left. Can you explain this contradiction to the court? Mr. White is right, both are right. Both witnesses are telling the truth, for once. I doubt it. Rather, that does not clear up the contradiction. There is one scenario that would explain their conflicting accounts. What? Obviously, the witness was not viewing the crime from the hotel. Mr. White. Mr. White. Mr. Wright, what do you mean? Yes, what do you mean? He was not viewing the crime from the hotel. If he was not in the hotel, where could he have been? In the law offices of Faye & Co., of course. More specifically, he was standing here. Time to show the court where Mr. White was standing. If he was watching from this point, to him it would appear that she ran to the left. Please, this is no time for jokes and ill taste. That is where the killer was standing. Okay, yeah, so that's where the killer was. I was confused. I was like, well, maybe the killer was in a different spot. But that wouldn't make any sense, I guess. Order, I will have order. Anyone disturbing the order of this courtroom will be held in contempt. Mr. Wright, what are you suggesting? Rapscallion. Postulations of defense are a distortion of the truth, Your Honor. Indeed, they do seem a bit far-fetched. You provide us with so much entertainment, Mr. Lawyer. What now? He's laughing? The hilarity of the moment made me remember something. It appears I have been unclear, and for this, I apologize. Your Honor, might I be allowed to testify once more? Very well, let's hear your revised testimony. Good luck. Can't fix a broken testimony, buddy. Miss May's testimony was correct, as was mine. When you assaulted the girl, you first ran to the left, and then you hit her, savagely. That is what I saw. Next, with the last of her strength, she ran to the right. You chased her and delivered her final blow. That is what Miss May saw. You see, you hit her twice. Don't you remember, Mr. Lawyer? That does seem to make sense. We'll be cross-examining the witness testimony. You bet I will. I mean, yes, Your Honor. Well, we know we didn't hit her once, because one blow was enough to kill her instantly. Why would we hit her again? Okay. Mr. White, the victim died from a single blow. What do you have to say to that? Now's my chance to hit him where it counts. Mr. White, wasn't it you who told this court you were abso-positively perfect? I'll refrain from using this phrase from now on. Your Honor, if you could ask the witness for a new testimony. The witness is obviously confused, Your Honor. I would like to request a 10-minute break. Yes, quite. The witness is confused because he's lying. I emphatically request that there be no break, Your Honor. Yeah, we want justice. Don't let him get away. Very well. If the witness would care to revise his testimony, crowd's on my side. No slipping out of this now, White. Mr. White? Oh, okay. The two accounts. Well, see, I looked at the other window when I heard that thing fall. Then when the next moment, I saw Miss Mia run to the left. The killer, you, attacked her, but she dodged. And then she turned and ran for the door. Then you did her in with a single blow. Thwap. Thwap indeed. Very well, you may begin the cross-examination. Mr. Your Honor, my stomach, you see, it is hurting. Deal with it. This is almost over. Okay. Well, see, I looked at the other window when I heard the thing fall. What does that mean? You heard that thing fall? What exactly was that thing? Huh? Oh, that, the glass light stand. Right, the one that had fallen over at the scene. Phoenix? Doesn't something about that strike you as odd? Yeah, very odd. Yeah, that is odd. I'll press further. Mr. White? Huh? What? You're saying you saw the glass light stand? Yes. Then change your testimony to reflect that. Sorry, my bad. The witness revised his testimony. Okay, of course. Last stand was lying on the floor when I looked. Mr. White? It was impossible for you to have seen the light stand. What? The stand broke into pieces when it fell. Oof. Just by seeing the broken pieces, you would have no idea it was a light stand. So tell me, exactly when was it that you saw the stand? Answer the question. Isn't it obvious? I saw the stand before it fell over. So you saw the stand before the victim was attacked then? Correct, that'd be no problemo, right? Big problemo. According to the layout of the place, you would not be able to see the stand from the window. What problem is this? Mr. White, let me make sure I have this straight. You saw the glass light stand through the window from the hotel before the incident occurred. Correct. That is so. It's conclusive, definite, undeniable, unimpeachable. No, it's impossible. You couldn't have seen the stand. What? Why couldn't you have proof? I sure do, Your Honor. The person in the hotel could have not have seen the stand before it fell over. Look at this. These are the floor plans to the scene of the murder, yes? Correct, Your Honor. Now look. If you were to look through the window at the office, this is the area you would be able to see. Here. Well, note that the stand is not within the visible area. Well, Mr. White, what do you have to say to that? Ridiculosity. Mr. White, if you were in the Gatewater Hotel as you claim, you could not have seen the stand before it fell over. In fact, you wouldn't have been able to see it after it fell either. There's no way you could have recognized the broken shards as a glass light stand. So when did you see the stand, Mr. White? It must have been the moment that it fell. And the only place you could have seen that from is inside the Fey Law offices. In other words, you were at the scene of the crime when the murder took place. Mr. White? Mr. White. You did it, didn't you? Your Honor. Miss Mia. Looks like we're about to get our verdict. That's far enough, Phoenix Wright. What? I forgot about Edgeworth. Mr. White. I think the time has come. Shouldn't you confess your crime now? What? I said you should confess your crime. Ergo, confess that you placed the wiretap. The wiretap? Oh my gosh, if he confesses he placed the wiretap, that means he obviously had to have been in the room, but that doesn't necessarily link him to the murder. Fuck! Oh, Edgeworth, you slimy son of a... Mr. Edgeworth, explain to the court what you mean by this. Distinguished members of the court, Mr. White is slightly confused. Allow me to explain. I really don't like the way this is headed. As you know, Mr. White is the CEO of Blue Corp. He ordered his secretary, Miss April May, to tap the law offices of Miss Fay. What does that have to do? Your Honor, the question is, when was the wiretap placed in the office and by who? No, you wouldn't. Mr. White, in order to place the wiretap, you entered Miss Fay's office. Am I correct? Correct. You are most correct, Miles. Give me a break. Yes, in order to place the wiretap, I breached the Fay & Co. offices. That is when I saw that accursed light stand. Now I'm confused. Please explain to the court what all this means, Mr. Edgeworth. Gladly, Your Honor. Mr. Phoenix Wright has made his position quite clear. He has determined that Mr. White knew the glass stand was in the office. He has shown that there was only one time Mr. White could have seen the stand, at the very moment of the murder. Thus, Mr. Wright, would like you to believe that Mr. White was a murderer. I see. However, it is a fact that Mr. White had been in that office well before the murder took place, when he went to place the wiretap. He could have seen the glass light stand then. Ergo, Mr. Phoenix Wright's theory is revealed for the basic conjecture it is. Mr. White, you will testify to the court about this wiretapping. Leave it to me. I feel faint. It was the beginning of September, the week before the murder. I had entered the Fanghole offices. Of course, I had done so to place the wiretap. That is when I saw this glass light stand. So you saw the stand before the night of the incident. And this is how you were able to identify what had fallen over by the sound. Correct, that is right. I see. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine. What am I supposed to do now? Good luck, Phoenix. Okay. We're gonna press him on a lot of this stuff. This is the beginning of September, the week before the murder. Do we have anything that would refute that? Probably not. Let's press him on this. Do you have proof? Miss April May knew the details of Miss Faye's phone conversation. This proves that the wiretap was placed before the murder. Oh, well, that's right. Okay. I'd entered the Fanghole offices. Of course, I had done so to place the wiretap. That is when I saw the glass light stand. Damn it, there's nothing for me to press him on. Oh, well, maybe he's rattled enough that I can bluff something out of him. Was it really you that went into the office? Or was it Miss May? Unidentified fingerprints several days old were found in the Fanghole offices. Those are obviously Mr. White's. And if I know Edgeworth, he's already run a check on those prints. Now, Mr. White, tell us why you went to the Fanghole offices. Why did you tap Mia's phone? This has no bearing on the current case, Your Honor. Wilcorp is a detective agency of sorts. We have a responsibility to protect client confidentiality. That's when I saw this glass light stand. Why did you notice something as innocuous as a light stand? The light stand was made entirely out of glass. It was quite stylish, so I guess it made a lasting impression on me. Such a beauticious thing deserves attention, does it not? That is all. Damn it. What do I have for evidence? Broken beyond all recognition. Department store receipt. I'm gonna use this statue as like a thing that... Okay. I've run out of ammo. Oh, never mind. I'm afraid that's as far as you go, Mr. Wright. The time has come for you to admit your defeat. You fought honorably. No more. I can't take this anymore. Mr. Wright? Are you giving up? Yes, Your Honor. Phoenix! Phoenix, over here! I know that voice. Mia? Never give up, Phoenix. What? Mia? Where am I? The waiting lobby. What happened? Oh, right. I lost the trial. I was hallucinating. Ah, you're finally awake. Yeah. What the hell? Hey, Phoenix. Jack, that's no way to greet an old friend. Phoenix, I want you to look at me. You're... Maya? Didn't you know the Fey women have strong psychic powers? When you accepted your defeat in court, it appears that was enough of a shock to awaken Maya's true powers. So Maya's channeling you, Mia. That's right, I am Maya, but I'm also Mia. Now I want you to listen to me, Phoenix. Maya never gave up, you can't either. That's what I came here to tell you. But we don't have much time. We don't have much time, now listen. You've already won. Huh? You have that receipt in the court record, right? Oh yeah, the one you wrote mine on. Phoenix Wright wrote that, not me. So what'd I do with it? Look at the front of the receipt. The front? The regular receipt. Looks like it's from a famous department store. $1,000. Wow, big spender. Item, glass light stand. Date of purchase, September 4th. September 4th? That's right, Phoenix. I bought that stand the day before I was killed. Whoa. Now what did Mr. White say in his testimony? It was the beginning of September, the week before the murder. He said he saw the stand the week before the murder. There you go. I think the court is about to reconvene. Go do it, Phoenix. You know you're innocent, now you just have to prove it. Right. Okay, awesome. What if the receipt would have something to do with it, though? With, like, the date on the receipt or something, or what was on it? Turns out that was the case. Is the defendant rather? Are you alright, Mr. Wright? Yes, sorry, Your Honor. I'm fine now. Then let's start where we left off. Your Honor, there is nothing to go back to. The cross-examination of Mr. White is finished. All that is required now is for you to pass judgment on the defendant, Phoenix Wright. Your Honor, please, give me one more chance. I promise you, this is the last time I'll ask you. But as Mr. Edgeworth has noted, the trial is more or less finished. Mr. Edgeworth, do you have an opinion on this matter? I say, let us give Mr. Phoenix Wright his last chance. Very well. Ha! You fool. You may begin your cross-examination. So we know it's the receipt. Could not have possibly seen... Yeah, that could not have possibly seen this receipt. Or the light stand. Look closely at this. See the word Maya written in blood? You're grasping. I think not. Look at the other side of the receipts. The other side? Your Honor, would you tell the court what is written on the other side of that receipt? Well, a glass light stand. The date of purchase. Why, that's the day before the murder. You see, Mr. White, when you allegedly entered Fango offices at the beginning of September, the stand could not have been there. Well, Mr. White, can't get out of this one, can you? No. It's impossible. Uh-oh, he's losing it. Well, Your Honor, I understand there must be quite a bit of pressure on you. But I think you'll agree you can't judge me guilty under these circumstances. Very well. And that is all for the trial of... What now? Not so fast, Phoenix Wright. Huh? What now? No way he could worm his way out of this one. Oh wait, I forgot. It's Edgeworth. There is a certain thread of logic to the defendant's claims. However, there is no concrete proof that Phoenix Wright is innocent. Ergo, I would like to request one more day before Phoenix Wright is granted his freedom. I need time to make one more inquiry into this matter. Another inquiry? This isn't going to be another one of those updated autopsy reports. God just makes up evidence as he pleases. This is bad. Mr. White's guilt is obvious. There is no need to prolong this trial any further. Well, Mr. Edgeworth? If anyone is going to call Mr. White to trial, it would be me, the prosecution. I need a day to ascertain whether these new claims have been any basis in factual evidence. I see. Objection denied. What? Completion of the trial of Mr. Phoenix Wright will be postponed until tomorrow. Oh. Don't tell me what will happen if we can't end this now. Edgeworth is sure to come up with or just make up something. After Mia showed up to help me and all. Mr. Your Honor, may I go home? Of course. Thank you for your time. Ah. The witness will stay. Yeah. Phoenix? Read this note out loud. Mia, what's this? List of people's names in Mia's handwriting. Memo received. Your Honor, if I may. You're quite persistent today, Mr. Wright. I mean, I'm being tried for murder here. I'm gonna do what I can. You bet I am. I love writing on this one. I have something I would like to read to the court. What is this? The memo Mia had given me was a list of names. Many of them sounded strangely familiar. People in finance, famous celebrities. That's when it happened. Stop! Desist, halt! Please, stop. Make him stop. How did you get that list? Mr. White, admit your guilt right here, right now. Or else this list will be released to the press. I confess. I did it. I hit her. I hit Miss Mia with Thinker. Case closed, Your Honor. Well, I see no reason to continue this trial. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. You've done it again. That was quite a spirited defense. Yes, Your Honor. I guess you could say that. Oh, you know how spirited it was. Well, this court finds the defense, rather, the defendant, Mr. Phoenix Wright, not guilty. Yay! That is all. This court is adjourned. Well, I never thought I'd be saying this again, but congratulations, you're lucky I was born a Fae. I'm lucky I had both you and Maya on my side. I'm glad you made it. Thank you, Phoenix. You risked a lot to help me. And Maya. I won't forget it as long as I live. As long as you live? My time here is running out. Huh? Maya's powers are still weak. I can't stay here that long. What? No, there's still so much to say. Don't worry, I'm sure we'll meet again. Chief! I'm not the sheep anymore. Phoenix? Can you come to the office tonight, say 9 o'clock? The office? I'll see you later. Chief? Mia! September 9th, 9:02 p.m. Fae & Co. offices. Being here, it's hard not to think about that night. You came! Mia? I was kind of worried you might not. Huh? Of course I came. Well then. I'm pretty hungry, how about a burger? Mia? You should see your face. Mia? What are you talking about? It's me, Maya. Maya? What, did I look like my sister? Look like? You were her. I might be able to use that. Oh, Phoenix, go to the store and buy me lunch, would you? Maya, why are you here? Because of this. See? Mia wrote me a letter. Take care of Phoenix for me. Take care of... Huh? She means the office. This office. Someone has to help with the new Wright & Co. offices, right? And who better but me? Mayor Faye reporting for duty. Wait, no. On second thought, let's make this casual. Yo, Nick. Maya here, ready to get down to business. You don't mind me calling me Nick, do you? It's a great name. Mia said that's what your friend Larry calls you. Nick? You know what this means? We're partners. You know, when I think about it, it is Maya's fault I'm here now. But if it wasn't for her, I'd probably be in jail. Right in Co. offices. Had a good ring to it. Yeah. Thanks, Maya. Good luck, Phoenix. I'll always be here, watching. Right. Okay, Nick, let's do it. Huh? Do what? Burgers, dummy. Burgers. There's a great burger joint just down the street. Come on, time's a wasting. Okay, wait up.